Thank you so much for stopping to watch Mama Junior. Thank you for clicking on this button. I know why you clicked on it. I know why you're peeking around. I know why you're trying to see what's going on today. But look, no judgment. I'm going to talk about cheating, but no judgment. And you know why? Because I live in a glass house too. So I'm not allowing any stones on the street that I live in, right? So as we're getting started, please drop your shoulders. There's no judgment. We're going to just have a conversation about this. And when I say we, I don't just mean me. I want you to comment at the bottom. I want to be able to give feedback on the things that you said, just like you can give feedback on the things that I've said. So as we're getting started, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Share this video. You never know who needs to hear certain things. You never know what it's going to take for certain things to resonate with people. Even though you've said it to someone a million times a certain way, it sometimes takes someone that they absolutely do not know for it to permeate within them that this is so, whatever that message might be. So even if you don't click anything else, maybe you just want to sit there and watch. If you don't do anything else, please click the share button, because I do want, the right person to hear this message if they absolutely need it. And you just don't know who needs it, right? So let's get started. Let me get it on the table and off the table. I started by saying no judgment because I live in a glass house. What does that mean? What does that mean, Mama Junior? Okay, what that means is, no, I've never cheated on anyone. No, I've never, ever cheated on anyone. If I wanted to be with that person, I was with that person because I chose to. If I just wanted to be friends with you, I let you know that I was going to just be your friend. If I wanted to have you as a friend with benefits, then that's what it was. So, nope, I never cheated on anyone that I was in a relationship with, okay? What it does mean is, many years ago, 15, 20 years ago, I was someone's side piece, right? Something that I am absolutely not proud of. I'm not boasting about that. I'm saying side piece because I know you can identify with that term. It was a very brief situation, but nevertheless, it happened. And it was very brief, but it bothered me for years because I don't operate like that. I try to conduct myself with more integrity than that. And so the fact that I allowed myself to, what I feel like was slipping, it bothered me. I had to really talk with God many, many days, many, many nights, asking for forgiveness for being a part of that, for contributing to someone else's pain. I don't know if this person's woman found out about it, but it was still something I would never have wanted done to me. And so it bothered me that I contributed to her pain. It bothered me that I let a cute face make me compromise my morals and my standards and my integrity. And ultimately, because I felt like I let God down, right? He didn't raise me like that. He knew I knew better. And because of those things, I really felt terrible about those things, about having been in that situation. No matter how long ago it was, no matter how brief the situation was, I felt terrible that I allowed myself to do that. And it was just that time, just that person. I've never allowed myself to be compromised in that way again. And you may not feel like that if you've been someone's side thing, because it didn't mean the same thing to you. It meant that to me because I've always wanted a committed relationship. I've never wanted to have a long-term casual thing. If I was in something with you that wasn't serious, it was brief. But my ultimate goal has always been to be someone's best thing. So to allow myself to be in that position where I was somebody's extra, it was beneath me to put myself in that situation. So when I tell you I live in a glass house. That's what I mean. So that's why I'm saying there's no judgment, but we talk about relationships a lot with the Mama Junior videos, and there's no way that I can think of that we can talk about relationships and we don't talk about some of the things that happen in relationships. And cheating is something that happens in relationships. So there is my truth. There is my story. And so I will continue from there. I want to know for you if cheating is a deal breaker. I also talk a lot about deal breakers with the Mama Junior videos because I think you have to have some standards. I think you have to set some ground rules of things that no matter how cute or sexy or fine or paid this individual is, there's just certain things you're not going to do, and you're willing to let the relationship go if those things present themselves. I can speak from experience, and I'm sure because I can, some of you may identify that sometimes we don't want to set those standards. Sometimes we've set those standards in our head or when we're talking to our friends and family, but when we are faced with a for real relationship, when we are faced with somebody who is truly showing us interest, we are deathly afraid to say, I don't like this. I'm not going to tolerate this. I'm not down with that. We're afraid because then that person might go away. We're afraid of that. Go on and admit it. Raise your hand. Ain't nobody looking. Admit it. You don't tell the truth about your truth because sometimes you're afraid that that person might go away. And I'm here to tell you that it's okay that that's your truth. But I also want you to take that truth and graduate to the point where you realize it's okay if they go away. That means that person is not the person for you, and you cannot fit a square peg into a round hole. If they're not the person for you, they're not the person for you. Okay? So when you have established that you're in a relationship, you've established that that's the situation you're going to be in, and then somebody cheats, there's a whole different dynamic that happens in your mind, in your body, in your spirit that takes you down a few pegs, you know. I was married some years ago, and I'm divorced now, and that's because my ex-husband was unfaithful. The first time I took it like, oh, okay, all right, that's done. All right, no, I'm good, I'm good. Yep. And the reason I did that is because years before, I was that side piece. And my belief is you reap what you sow. So I felt like this was my payback. It couldn't have been more clear to me at that time. That's your payback. And so there was no pity party. There was no sadness, woe is me, sorrow that I was expecting from somebody else. It still broke me down. It still hurt my feelings. I still made him know and let him know that it was something that, you know, I was devastated by, and I went through all of these motions like, oh, we're going to go to counseling. Hey, did you see this video about this? Did you listen to this song? Did you read this article? I was pushing all those things to him because he had hurt me. And you know what he did? He let me. That was not his mission. That was not his goal to fix some terrible blunder. It was his goal to do what he was doing, and he didn't want to hurt me in the process, but it was what it was. So the next time that it happened, I turned into the police officer for Menace to Society. I'm like, you know you're not effed up, don't you? You know you're not effed up, don't you? And for those of you who have not watched Menace to Society, I will not take this time to fuss at you for not knowing what I'm talking about. You just missed a good joke. But honestly, I realized you got this one, but it won't be more than that. And it was devastating to me. You know, anybody who's been through a huge breakup or divorce or anything like that, it takes something out of you, you know, and it was embarrassing. It was humiliating. You know, he and I were very good friends. So it was hurtful for me to not be able to just be around him anymore, because that was my buddy. I enjoyed his company more than anything. And so I can't speak for the person who cheats, because I've never cheated. I can only give my opinion on the reason people cheat is because they choose to. That's my justification. And again, I may be way out of line because I haven't done it to be able to truly 100% explain it. But that's just my speculation. That's my opinion, that people cheat because they want to. I don't care how good your mac and cheese is. It's the bomb, I know. But it don't make him stay at home when he want to go do something he want to do. I don't care how paid you are. She gonna go do what she want to do. It don't matter how many shopping trips you done took her on. She gonna do what she want to do. And it may not have anything to do with anything you are lacking. It may have, you might be the perfect person for your mate, down to the looks, your education, your beliefs, your values, everything you bring it to the table, what you contribute, perfect. But they still went astray. And that is what some of us dig a hole in our scalp, scratching our heads, trying to figure out and wonder, well, I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this. Why is it not right? Right? So you can't fight and blame yourself when your mate steps out, because it's not about you. Okay? It's not about you or anything you've done. And so I want you to also think about, if you are the person who's cheated, what you've done to that person that you've put yourself in a relationship with. You first of all didn't say, I don't want to be in a relationship, I just want to kick it, I just want you to be my friend with benefits. You took it to that level and said, I'm your man, I'm your woman. And so now they have expectations that they are all you want and need. You don't see anything else. You have blinders on. It is only about them. That's their expectation. And so when you cheat, you break some of that down. You spark the flame and ignite self-doubt and lower self-esteem and curiosity and a fight in a person to be better and to be better and to be greater and to catch all of your attention and make sure that you don't want anything else and to dress different and look different and all these things that it had nothing to do with to begin with. So if you are somebody who has cheated, be honest. I think that's one thing that I was so irritated about, the dishonesty, right? So one thing I can appreciate about my ex-husband, when we were at that point of calling it quits, and I'm sitting there begging and trying my best to pull out this declaration of fidelity out of him, and I'm gonna pull out this promise that he's gonna do this and this and that wasn't coming. But one thing he did say that I am so grateful for, he said, I don't want to keep hurting you. I don't want to continue to hurt you. And that summed it up for me. He put the ball back in my court. He basically was telling me, I can't tell you that I'm not going to do this again. I don't want to keep hurting you, but it's up to you if you stay with me, because this is who I am today. I don't know how he is in his relationships now. I don't know if he's more honest. I don't know if he still, dips and dives with different people when he's in a relationship. That's not my business. But he gave me the honest truth at the end of our relationship, where he said, do what you want to do with this information. I don't want to keep hurting you. And I can only appreciate his honesty for that. So for those of you who are constantly, oh, baby, it ain't going to happen again. Oh, it was just this and, da-da-da-da-da. Let that be for real. make sure you're doing something about that. Make sure that you can honor those words, because the person who you wronged is holding on to every little piece of that. Okay? If you hear the background noise, forgive me. It's my dog who has lost his ball under the plant stand, and he is scratching with everything to get it. So, excuse me. I'm going to actually stop and go get that for him, right? One moment. I'm back. Sorry. So I want you to just take ownership of that emotion that you have caused, that doubt that may have already been there from someone's past experiences that you've reignited because they didn't see that in you. They thought you were going to be different. They thought you were going to be a woman or a man of your word and not bring that type of insecurity to the relationship. Excuse me. So, I want you to just be able to own that and be able, if you are a person who believes in God, have your conversation with God. Ask for forgiveness. Ask for discernment and to be led in a position that He wants you to be in. Ask that you never are allowed to have that temptation again, that you are never allowed to hurt your baby like that again. A lot of people who cheat ain't trying to hurt you. They just doing something for themselves at that moment. And yep, it was something shiny, caught their attention. It had nothing to do with you. You were just a casualty. You were just a casualty. It had nothing to do about how they feel about you. Now, some people do revenge cheat, or revenge, cheat because they getting revenge for some other reason from you. Okay? That's just honest. People do that, right? So you have to be careful when you wrong somebody, because you don't get to determine the rules of how they retaliate. Boom. You don't get to pick that. Right? So, yeah, you slept with your coworker. It was just a couple times on the vacation or business trip. Baby, I'm so sorry. Okay, cool. I screwed your brother. What? You what? Yeah, she screwed your brother or your daddy or your best friend or your son from your other relationship. Say what? Yeah. Jerry Springer stuff, but every Jerry Springer contestant didn't make it to the show. Some of them live around the corner from you, and you know who they are. So, don't think you did your thing and you had your discretions and it's over from there. They cried. They called me a sorry SOB and, broke up some of my stuff, put a little bleach on a few things, and we done moved past that. You better know who you in a relationship with, because you don't get to write the rules. When that chick hear about your thing and she stay and she hit you with the, okay. I said okay. You need to watch out. Because, baby, that thing is not resolved. It might come back tomorrow, the next day, next year. I can't tell you because I didn't write the rules. But when she figure out, if the Lord don't intervene to tell her, look, it ain't worth it, let me handle this. If that conversation doesn't happen, she about to change this thing up on you. And one thing people who cheat don't want is to be cheated on. They cannot stand the thought entering their mind that you have stepped out on them. And you know I'm not lying. You know I'm not lying. You can have dealt with infidelity for years. Babies from the infidelity, diseases from the infidelity, and you could be watching TV like, oh, Morris Chestnut looking good today. What? You got what? like, you tripping on me like it Morris Chestnut? Are you kidding? You know? So, people can't stand for the tables to be turned. They can't stand it. But when you step out to be the cheater, you can't write the rules. The rules were, we were going to be in a relationship only. We were going to deal with whatever came our way together only. You broke that when you added peaches. So, since you get to make it up, I'm going to make it up. And then you ain't going to like when I make it up, right? So, be careful thinking that you can do your thing, because what's good for the goose. I'll let you finish that statement. But just wanted to come to you because we talk about relationships. We have to talk about cheating. No judgment. I just want to give you some things to think about. Okay? So please share this video. Tell me what you think. I want to hear from you. And don't forget, if you want me to talk about a certain topic, you want my opinion, because I'm not a licensed anything, not in the relationship way anyway, but write to me. askmamajr@gmail.com, and I will do an anonymous video response to the question that you submitted. I cannot wait to hear from you. Talk to you later.